Live now.
Episode 10. How have you enjoyed podcasting thus far?
I mean, it's been like a lot of fun. I mean, I definitely like. I mean, I just said it now, but like, just like working on like, I feel like it's like helped my like speaking.
Yeah.
And then I've noticed all of like your speech patterns, which, you know, when editing,
What are my speech patterns?
uh, like real like expressive. You use your hands a lot when speaking.
I need to have the power pose. You can do the triangle.
Yeah, I don't. I took. Did I get a C in my speech class?
I don't know. I know you hated your dude though. I
That
heard about
guy.
him a lot.
Yeah.
We won't say words used to describe the man that was your teacher, but they
He
were not
was
kind words. They were mean
he
words.
was a ton of fun for sure.
I also think you didn't like the people in that class too.
No, no. They gave me a low teamwork grade. Um,
Hey, I usually give people, even with minimal help, good team scores, except for my capstone project. Oh my heavens. I wanted to murder those people.
that was really funny because they didn't do anything. They wouldn't respond to you in the group messages and stuff.
No. They just were like, I was like, okay, if none of us are going to do this, how are we passing this class? It's like what? The capstone was like a freaking 1 credit hour class or something. Oh my gosh. I was so annoyed. Just Allegiant Air, just, oh my gosh.
I once had this group where we all made like a combined like PowerPoint or whatever and like presentation. And then the day of the presentation, I was told that they redid my all my slides the day before.
That's
So
funny.
I was a
Were
little
you with a
salty.
group of girls?
Yeah.
So they were making them pretty and
Yeah,
yours was
no,
not
they
pretty.
did the thing where they'll like write out everything and like
Oh,
they just
instead
have
of
the
the
whole
bullet points?
paragraphs. Yeah.
No, no, that's I was like I put like well, I think they even tell you that and like when you do a PowerPoint class or whatever, they're like
Don't. Yeah, just like add it to the notes, but
yeah.
and then in my supply chain capstone class, like we had these like two big projects
Uh-huh.
and I think two of the people went on like we worked with this company. It was like a case study thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
But two of them got hired on at the company and it was like a logistics company.
Look at
And
that.
they did like a rotational. I bet they were miserable. um, but I was connected with them on LinkedIn, and they left their jobs pretty quick. So
So
yeah,
not a good
yeah.
company to work for.
So if you only work for your like first job for like a year, does that mean it was a bad experience? Because I know you like
Or
you're.
you're not paid very well.
Yeah, that is true. Because you're pretty big on like, oh, I should probably stay at like these milestones. Like you talk about like year and a half, 2 years at places.
I don't know. I think it depends on life. Like, oh, do you want to move to Guam? Then you should probably change jobs unless your job lets you go remote, you know?
Yeah.
You might be asking who's moving to Guam? I don't know. Someone. Someone
No,
out
no
there.
one's moving to Guam.
Um, did you understand the reference like my car's like way out in Guam? Like if I said that when we were like first dating, did you understand what that meant? Cuz not too long ago I was talking to someone. I was like, "Yeah, it's like in Guam."
I've definitely heard that before.
And they're like, "Wait, you're going to
Uh,
Guam?" And I was like, "No, it's like it's far away." And I was like, "Does not everyone like use
no, I
that?"
don't think your family kind of uses some like different expressions that not most people have heard
I
before.
need to like validate all the
Yeah,
references before I what are those called? Like are they colloquialism?
yeah, yeah.
What's
That
that
sounds
word?
right. No, you did it. You got it. That's not a fun word to say.
You know, back in the day, I tried out for the spelling bee once 'cause I did not know how to spell any of the words. I gave up. I just threw the paper away. I don't even know if I turned the paper in. I was like, there's no way.
I think the spelling bee like it definitely brought out like the nerdiest kids because like you had like your like high functioning smart kids, and then you had the spelling bee champions.
What if I was like so bad at spelling I'm not even sure I got a word right in like the pre-test to see if you could go on to the spelling bee?
That's pretty rough. I think, maybe the teacher might have had to call your mom and been like, we
Well,
got
I
some
mean,
stuff to
no,
work
you
on.
had to like decide you wanted to try out for the spelling bee. Like your teacher didn't like grade it, so I didn't even turn in my paper. No one knew.
Oh.
Did
Did you?
you?
I don't. I mean, I think we maybe did that once. Like you fill out stuff, but now I'm just thinking back to like grade school, like vocab tests and stuff, and like how bad people's handwriting was.
Back in the day when I used to have spelling test, like when they'd be like, okay, let's learn how to spell, and a lot of people would learn, like I just would memorize. Like I don't know how it's like the roots of words, and that's how people learn how to spell or whatever, and then all the rules,
Yeah.
and then like sound, I think is another big one.
I don't think I'm very good at sounding stuff out.
But I would spell it out exactly how I thought it sounded.
And that doesn't work super well in English.
No, and they'd be like, "You tried." I'd be like, "That's how it sounds." Like, but that's not how we spell it. And I'd be like, "That's fake." You taught me growing up to just sound it out, and I'm just out here sounding it out, and you're telling me it's wrong?
I don't think spelling was never my like biggest
No,
strength, but
I got like a negative in spelling. Okay, but the one of the questions I wanted to ask you today is, as a child, did you have a hobby? Or was hobby was like is like hobby like an adult word? Like you don't have a hobby until you're an adult.
yeah, I think hobby because like I mean for like most kids, but you're kind of limited. But like hobbies and stuff, like like we went out and we're regripping my golf clubs, and we're gonna get you a set, because we want to go to the driving range. But like as a kid, like you're like, hey mom, can I get like a I don't know, new bike or something? I don't. But I guess some kids like they'll do like karting and stuff, or,
Yeah.
there'll be like
But
little
like
RC races and things. So you can have a hobby, but I feel like it's like kind of like controlled by your parents.
so is it more of just an activity and not so much like a passion? I don't know. How would you define a hobby?
I mean, I would do something like pretty vague. So I guess technically you could like would be like y- youth sports be one.
That's what I don't know. But like as a kid you were like, "Man, I never as a kid had the thought of like I need a hobby."
Yeah, I mean,
You just like did whatever you felt like. You just played and you had fun.
yeah, you just go like ride bikes or like go.
Yeah, but now it's
Yeah.
like I need a hobby. Why not just I just I've had a lot of conversation with like coworkers and stuff, and a lot of them are like, this year I'm really trying to find a hobby. And I'm wondering, like, I think people, you get old and you like forget how to have fun. Now my next question for you. How would you define fun, or like what is your physical, what are the vibes you're getting when you're having fun? Like, how do you know you're like, I'm having fun?
So like fun to me is like, you want to keep going back to it, but then also like, sometimes you go and do something like play basketball and I can't shoot a basketball very well, so I'll get frustrated. Or like me losing in top golf every single time, but I still want to go back. So I mean that's fun, but like time seems to go by quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, I don't know if your mom did this, but like, oh, you can be on your TV for like 30 minutes, or you can play
Yeah.
games, or that always the 30 minutes just went super fast. And then just kind of thinking about that, like, I don't know how long your like recess was, like when you were like a little kid, like elementary
Mm-hmm.
school, but we had like 25 minutes. Or like even our PE classes were like super
30
short.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you wouldn't actually do anything. You would play a game for like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
I remember like stuff like like kickball.
Mm-hmm.
Like 7 kids would get to kick the ball, and then you would go in and you would be done. And
So I'm acknowledging your kickball pain.
you don't
I'm
want to
really
talk about
sorry.
elementary school kickball?
I'm really sorry that you did not get to kick the
Okay.
ball sometimes when you play
Yeah.
kickball. But as a kid, when you're having fun, you're not really so aware of like all the other things to do. You're just kind of vibing. And you're just like, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. Like, the things you can't do. But it's not like so much of the things that you need to do that I guess there's not as much limitation on time. So, because when I think of fun, because I think a conversation we've been having lately is one about having structure in our days to kind of create more like peace and happiness in our four walls.
We have
That
like 8 walls.
Well, 4 large walls. Well, I guess we don't. It's kind of weird shaped,
That
but
are all
we're gonna
connected
pretend
to other
it's
people.
4 walls. But
So, yeah, COVID's definitely probably like made maybe like what's the term?
routine
Exaggerated my bad
Exaggerate.
habits.
of no schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you say in college, let's say freshman, sophomore, junior year, were you a scheduled person?
I mean, I went to like all of my classes.
I've been told, quote, it's a good thing lived on campus or I would have missed my classes.
No, I wouldn't have missed them. I just would have been late quite a bit because I would go early in the mornings, and I'm not a morning person. So,
Early in the mornings? Your classes started at like 10.
well, no, I had a lot of 8 a.m.s, which I think all of the classes I had 8 a.m.s were like my lowest grades. Hey, like you could statistically significant, yeah.
Is it because you were late to them?
Yeah.
Or did you put the ones you didn't care about first?
Well, usually they were the dumb classes that you just had to take, so they weren't important.
Classes.
Yeah. Like speech. Like
Yes.
I believe it was communications with, my best friend.
So, but in high school you have to be kind of routined. You have to go to school for some hours. Were you routined at all?
No, like definitely not.
You know that thing where it's like, we wouldn't have gotten along in high school. People ask like, would you and your husband have dated in high school?
See, I don't think I got along with very many people in high school. We definitely would not have gotten along.
I wouldn't have talked to you though.
Yeah, definitely not.
Kind of.
I don't think we would have been friends.
And didn't you say you were kind of mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? What made you mean?
I don't know. I just was.
Just felt like it.
Yeah, you just have to ask the boys.
It's because you weren't routined.
Probably.
You had no structure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How late in
Really, it's not the whole thing. It just like everything's kind of connected to waking up early in the morning, I guess. Cause like I was kind of late. Actually, I never got like any tardies at school.
Have you ever thought about this thing called an alarm?
I set lots of alarms. I just don't wake up to them.
No, that's not. It's you have to decide the night before you're gonna wake up to your alarm.
How? Like it's like you set
tell
the alarm.
You tell your mind. You say, I'm not allowed to not wake up to this alarm.
I just don't. I don't think it's that easy.
Are you someone that, like, let's say you have to get up at 3 a.m. for a flight. Are you someone that wakes up at 1 panicking that they're not going to make up their 3 alarm?
No shot.
I did not think you would give a crap.
If I had a flight at 3 a.m., I probably wouldn't sleep.
I know. But I'm saying you have a 6 a.m. flight. And you have to leave your home at 3 a.m.
I could probably do it, yeah.
But are you waking up at, like, 1 because you're panicking you're going to miss your 3 a.m. alarm.
Yeah, definitely.
You think you are?
Yeah. If it's like really important.
You know what I also think is interesting though is you will wake up to Holly and Beasley needing to go outside.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I mean, but I can fall back asleep pretty easily, and you can't.
Yeah, you can. But see, you said like it's a mindset thing.
I guess so.
Boom.
What's also really funny is like the race was at Azerbaijan this weekend, and like I'll wake up for like F1 races, which I'm sure just like drives you crazy. It's like, oh yeah, the
If
race.
Shannon asks for something, he ain't waking up for it.
Yeah, the race starts at 5 a.m. I'll be up at 5 a.m.
So why do you struggle to wake up when I want you to wake up?
I mean, obviously watching an F1 race is a little simpler than like
Going for a walk?
yeah, let's go for 5-mile run.
I have not asked you to do, although I should ask you to go for a 5-mile run because we're running a 10K.
Yeah, that
in
training's
2 months.
going really well. I got my 5K coming up.
We could ask the people how much they think I'm going to beat you by.
Okay.
Over under 10 minutes.
I think I'm going to win. I'm pretty confident.
How? You've ran 3 miles in the past 2 months.
I still have almost 2.5 months. And
sir, it is July 4th and today is May 2nd. That is not 2.5 months. That is 2 months.
Okay.
Unless you're counting 2 days as a half of a month.
It's all
training starts tomorrow.
It's all a mindset thing.
Oh, what'd you tell me a couple weeks ago? I'm a race day guy.
Yeah,
I'll show up on race day. I will train for nothing, and I'm just gonna dominate. I'm built different.
So obviously, this is very relatable. But there's some crazy athletes that fail SEAL training. It's all a mindset thing.
Wow.
They're very similar. But
so you waking up to an alarm is really hard, but on race day your mindset's going to be such that even though you have not trained but for your 3-mile recovery run
individually I have almost no struggle to do things, but you give me in a group environment and then I want to win. So you come race day.
So how do I need to set up the competition for the morning wake up time?
We just
chores, push-ups?
Yeah. No. None of that.
Okay, whoever wakes up last has to run at least 5 miles.
I would have to do that every day. I've never once woken up before you.
I know.
But I think just to kind of close and go back, we are trying to have a more set schedule, which involves me making a bigger effort to wake up early in the morning. And then I think for you it was kind of more of a consistent kind of exercise schedule, kind of more afternoon focus.
And then helping with the dishes at night, because I just don't know when to do them, so we just have more structure with our
even
home
just
chores.
Oh gosh, the daily grind of vacuuming, laundry.
Yeah,
everything always needs
cleaned. And that's
cleaned.
why adulting, you have to have hobbies, which I think is really the root of our routine. So we'll be back and let you all know how our routine is coming, and if Trenton James is
waking up in the morning
and training for our 10K, but his 5K race is this weekend that he's been training for with his 15-mile 2-month run. Thank you all for joining us this week for Grab the Coffee podcast. That's the tea. See y'all next week.